Okay, well, I'm going to play the game now and press play. A couple things will pop up usually at the start here. You can increase the speed or decrease the speed with the minus and plus on the keypad, and you can pause it with the spacebar. Okay, conquer Konkan. This is my objective. We must recover the lands that are rightfully a part of our nation, or people will not take us seriously. And this has given me a casus belli against Deccan, which already had one, but this gives me another one. And this, it will have certain beneficial effects, as well as the ability to not lose stability when you wage war on somebody. And that's what I recommend if you have a casus belli before you wage war on somebody, or your stand in the world will kind of decrease. And down here at the bottom, let me pause it real quick, I have an alliance offer from Orissa. This is my neighbor up here, and they are currently also allied with Bihar, which is somewhere around here, up here. But I'm going to take them up on their offer because they're one of my closest, biggest neighbors, and I kind of want an ally that's connected with Deccan here, because I want to wage war on Deccan and take some of these provinces. So I'm going to go ahead and click this and click accept. Now, if you don't accept or decline this after a certain period of time, a couple months I think it is, it'll auto decline. So you can either ignore it, or you can manually decline it, or you can click it to accept it. So pressing play here again, I'm going to see what's the status of my armies here, because those of course are the most important thing. I only have one stack of guys, and they are, I have about 4,000 men, 3,000 infantry, and 1,000 cavalry. And my opponent has, as you can see in the bottom right there, 1,000 men in that army, but I'm not sure what else he has moving around. I think I saw another army around there. So in order to wage this war effectively, I want to build up my army a little bit. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on the military tab here, and where I changed the maintenance. But what I can see is that I have a total of 4 land units, but I can support 11. So my military can be a lot larger than it currently is right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the time to train some infantry units so I can wage this war against the Khan. They don't know I'm going to wage war against them, but I'm sure they'll find out soon. What I do is I click on one of these provinces that I have, any one, and I click down here where it says recruit regiment. This will give me the ability to recruit, whether I want to recruit the infantry or the cavalry, and it'll cost a certain amount, and it'll take a certain amount of time to finish. And you can only recruit one at a time per country, so I recommend spreading out the recruitment among several countries. So I have a stack of 4, and I can recruit 11, so I'm going to probably recruit 5 more. Recruit one here, here, and here. Now these will all take roughly 60 days, so I will basically be letting the game progress as they build these units. You can't instantly recruit units, so it's a good idea to have them before you actually need them. Another thing you can do is you can hire mercenaries if you really need units right then, right now. The only problem is they are, well, I guess it's not right then, right now, because it takes a certain number of days, but it's considerably reduced from what it would take otherwise. The price is more expensive, however, and the maintenance costs are higher. But that's pretty much the same for any game that has mercenaries, because mercenaries, as we all know, are not cheap. I have this little province over here that there's no units at all in it, so I'm going to go ahead and build one extra one. You don't need a unit for every province, but in case my my friendly neighbors to the north here, the Deccan, want to take it, I will have at least somebody there to protect it, even though they'll probably get squashed anyway. And they'll be able to hold off for a while because, as you can see when I click this province, I have this little wall here, which means that my improvement has a fort, a level 1 fort. What this will do is it has a number of men, 1,000, garrisoned inside those walls inside the city, and it will basically, the enemies or you, if you're attacking a city that's defended like that, will have to siege the city, and they'll basically have to starve the garrison out, or basically siege them until they destroy the walls and they can basically kill them all. Or if they're starved and they don't have any water, they'll surrender on their own. But usually that takes quite a while. Like the sieges in this game can literally take years, just like in real life. Okay, so I'm going to decrease my speed here a little bit. I usually, when I play, I decrease or increase the speed to make it more manageable. It just increases how quickly the days pass. So I have all these units, and I want to kind of form another stack, another army here, so I can have two sort of armies to go around. So I'm going to click on my military unit and right-click on the nation where I want this guy to move to. And as you can see, when he starts, his morale is not completely full. It'll take a couple months before his morale gets up to full and he's in full fighting form. So I'm going to click on this nation, and what will happen is you'll see this line, and it'll basically take a while. It'll take maybe a couple months for this unit to traverse from country to country all the way where it needs to go. I'll take this one, drop them up there, and the second one, this one that I recruited here, I'm going to take over there too, because I want two armies with 4 stacks each. Now I have two armies here. I can either select them both with dragging my mouse. As you can see, I have two armies, and then click close, this little minus on the one that I don't want to deal with, or I can just left click on this area and it'll kind of cycle between the stacks that I have there. So I'm going to click this guy and right click over there too, and increase the game speed. Now one thing I have not discussed yet is markets. If you click one of your nations here, you can see on the bottom right, their center of trade. This is where these countries are trading at in the world. If you're on the bottom right here, if I go to the trade map mode, you can see the color groups of all the different markets that you currently see. Like this blue one, if I click one of these blue nations, they're trading out of Jiangsu, which is, I have not discovered it yet. It's somewhere up here, but I have not seen it yet, so I cannot trade in that center of trade. But if I click on this one, I can see that all these countries and the ones down here are trading in Malacca. Now what you can do, I'm going to come back here to my one, Bihar, and pause the game real quick. This is the center of trade. This is where you can send your merchants. If you look up here on the left, or the top here, on the very left side of your little guys, little faces, these are your merchants. These are the people that you send to these centers of trade, and they trade for you. They basically go there. They'll trade the wares that your countries are producing with everybody else who is at the center of trade, and they'll generate some profit. Now, just because it says if you're sending a trader here, which I'll send all 3 of mine. Actually, wait. That's going to cost me 27.5 per one that I send, and that's actually not good at all. So I'm actually not going to send a single one right now because it's too expensive for me. And the result of that, I think, the reason for that is because my slider here is almost all the way to the left at mercantilism, which increases my merchant cost by 25%, and right now it's at 20%. So instead of doing that, I'm not going to do anything with these guys right now. I'm going to instead make my money through war, by waging war with the Deccan. But if I was here, I would be able to click this, and it would send a merchant. He would take a couple months to arrive there, and what happens is he has to basically compete with the other merchants that are there, and this is based on his merchant chance, and then if you see here, it's based on certain factors: my trade efficiency, my current ruler, and the base value. This is the chance that he's going to compete one of these other people out of the market. And if you compete somebody out of the market, you will see your nation shield, if you don't already have it, in this slot that represents how many merchants you have at the center of trade. So if I manage to get one guy here, I would see my shield here right next to all these other ones, these other countries. And then once he's actually trading, I'll see a value of our trade up here. This will be a certain number, maybe 5, maybe 13. Now, even though it says that, that's not actually how much money you're making. The amount of money that your merchant's making and the amount of money your nation gets is based on the trade efficiency of your nation, which is one reason why you might want to go to, some of your policies affect the trade efficiency, and some of your national ideas affect the trade efficiency. And a higher trade efficiency, of course, is better, because if you're dominating the markets, you'll be able to get more of the trade value of the center of trade and be able to send more of that money home. But right now, since it's so expensive for me to do this, I'm not going to even bother at the moment, and I'm going to go back to my political map mode. Okay, unpausing the game here. I now have my nation, or my units in this nation. Well, this one's still traveling. I'm going to speed up the game a little bit. Okay, they are all almost here. What's this guy doing? Deccan. See, Deccan is at war with Gondwana, so they're waging war with these people right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow the game speed down, and I'm going to examine my neighbors around here. I'm going to see who can possibly help me in a war against Deccan, or rather, well, yeah, help me in a war against Deccan, so I don't have to fight them necessarily all by myself. I kind of maybe split up the country among several others if they want to wage war with me. So I'm going to click on one of these nations, and I'm going to, on this little box area down here with all these options, I'm going to send a diplomat out to one of these nations and see what my chances are for an alliance with that nation. And by alliance, it's a military alliance. So if I want to send it to Delhi, it says it's impossible. I guess my standing with them, or my prestige, is not high enough. They don't really want to be my ally. Well, it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to get an alliance with anybody other than Orissa, who has actually offered the alliance to me. But instead, I'm going to try to increase my standing. As you can see, my relations are -65, which is probably the reason that I wasn't able to get anywhere near Delhi. So what I'm going to do instead... Oh, okay, that's because they're Islamic. I can't send a royal marriage. So with Bihar here, especially since they're the center of trade owner, I'm going to want to get a little bit more friendly with them. I'm going to send a diplomat out to present a royal marriage with the nation. What this will do is increase my relationship with that nation, and it will possibly in the future, if there's a disputed succession and I'm in good standing with that nation with my royal marriage, I can claim the throne, or maybe I will claim the throne if the leader dies before that happens, and they'll form a personal union with me at the lead. But that's fairly rare, and it's only happened to me once, so I wouldn't count on it. Right now, I'm basically using my royal marriages to increase my relationships with my neighbors without any cost to me. It said maybe, so that diplomat will be sent out, and he'll take a little bit, and they accepted it, so that's great. Okay, I have my my armies here, and I want to merge them, so I'm going to select all of them, and I'm going to click this button right here where it says merge these units. It's going to take all these armies, merge them into one unit, and if I wanted to, I could change the name. I can apply a new leader or whatever. If at any point I wanted to kind of break this army up into new armies, I can click this button here, create new unit, and it'll basically give me the option to take my first army here and split it out. So I would split, maybe if I wanted to split it in half, I'd click like this and I click close, and I have these two armies now. I can either deselect the one that I just created, or I can deselect them both, or split them out even further if I wanted to. But right now I'm going to keep them all merged. So, because I've had Casus Belli against Deccan here, and they're in a war with Gondwana, I'm going to take advantage of this, and I'm going to declare war on them right now. You need to emerge a diplomat to declare war. So I'm going to click Declare War, which will send a diplomat out telling them, I'm declaring war on you, buddy, and you're going to accept it. And you can see I have no Casus Belli on this option, but I have my other Casus Belli choices are here, and I can pick whichever one I want to use. This will have certain effects. It says they are allied with Chagatai. And Chagatai is... I'm not sure where they are. Let's see, if you want to find a nation, you can click on the right here where it says Find Province. Well, I guess Chagatai is not the actual name of a province, so I can't find them that way. But if I wanted to find, say, I didn't know where it was, and I wanted to find the country of Mongnai, I can just type that in and click right there, and it would actually take me to that country. So if I see like a certain event that pops up down here somewhere that happens with a certain country, and I want to find where that country is, I can just find it over here with the Find Province. Or if I need to go to my capital province, I can click that, or my national focus. So, well, I'm just going to declare war on them. I'm not really concerned with the fact that they're allied with Chagatai, because I have no idea where they are at, and I don't think they're going to be a problem with me, but I never know. Anyway, I'm going to declare war with the Conquest Casus Belli, because what that will allow me to do is gain a core on Concal, or Konkan rather, and that's right here. Once I conquer that and I annex them, I'll be able to get a core on that, which otherwise would take like 50 years. So this is a really good mission type to have. Okay, so I'm going to declare war on them, and now I'm at war. If you hover up here where you see the little flame, you can see the nation that I'm at war with. Because Chagatai was allied with Deccan and they chose to actually accept the war, I'm at war with both of them now. And it says here that Orissa has honored a military alliance and joined with my armies to wage war on Deccan. So I'll have some buddies in my fight. If they didn't accept, our military alliance would be dissolved, and I'd get a Casus Belli against Orissa here, because they decided not to help me, and so I'd have a Casus Belli to kick their ass because they didn't help me. So, because I'm at war now, I'm going to start my armies on the move. I'll send this one over here to Raichur Doab, and this one over to Golconda. Golconda is actually the capital province of Deccan. So if I can conquer, or rather occupy this province, they will be very unhappy, and it will increase my my war favor, basically my war points with the enemy. As you can see down here, my victory points. This shows, this on the bottom right here, this shows how the war with whatever nations you're fighting with is going. Here you have me and my allies on this left side, and my enemy and their allies on the right side. This shows their war capacity, their war exhaustion, their stability, and their blockade. So as the war is progressing, I can see how exhausted they are with their war, how unhappy, and how stretched to the max their citizens are with the war that's going on. So I mean, if even fighting a large nation, you might be able to have an advantage if they were already like in previous wars, because their war exhaustion will be up pretty high and it'll take a long time to reduce. So you can kind of pick on larger nations if you really want to take that risk and they have a high war exhaustion, because their armies are going to fight less effectively. Their economic stability is going to be greatly suffering because of their war exhaustion is so high. It also shows the number of units that each of your sides have, which my allies have a lot more than me, but I think that's based on Chagatai rather than Deccan. And as the battles progress, I'll see the slider go either not in my favor or in my favor, which when I sue for peace, I'll be able to either uh, ask for provinces or other benefits because I'm winning the battle, winning the war, or uh, offer stuff because I'm losing it and I want to get out of the war. I need some water, so I will be right back. I'm going to pause this. Okay, and I'm back. I'm a little bit better hydrated now, but I might need to take a break time to time to get a drink because I'm not used to speaking this much because I'm not the best speaker. Okay, so I'm at war with this nation, and it's going to be a little bit of a problem because the war capacity of my ally here, Orissa, is very low. They don't have the capability to wage war very effectively. I think part of the reason of that is because there's actually a pretender army waging war in their country right now, trying to steal the throne from them. So they may not be the most reliable allies, since all their armies are moving up north here to basically crush that pretender army. So it's basically probably going to be me that has to take on Deccan all by myself. Okay, now these units are currently sieging the city. So I can click on them, and you can see in the bottom up here the siege status. If I hover over this, the city can hold out for years. Now this is not necessarily accurate, it's not guaranteed to hold out for years, but that's basically what my armies believe to be based on. I'm not exactly sure, but it's the perception of how long they can hold out for. This is the morale of their armies, the morale of mine, as well as the numbers here. I could choose to assault, but because the walls are still up, my guys are going to basically be assaulting a still walled, still garrisoned city, and they're probably going to be crushed very, very quickly. So you almost never want to assault, or rather you never want to assault until the walls are broken, and even then, sometimes you still want to hold out a little bit until the morale keeps going down for the defenders, and they desert because they don't want to fight the war anymore because they're starving or they're dying of thirst. So you still may want to hold out for a little bit because I've assaulted a city with a superior force that the walls were broken on, and I've still lost because the morale of my armies went down very quickly, and I had to continue the siege. So basically what I do is I'll let these guys keep waging war, or keep sieging these cities here, and I'll give Deccan a chance to come and pick a fight back against him, and I'll basically be on the defensive, even though I'm technically on the offensive against this siege, so it'll be good for me. Instead of actually finding the enemy armies and picking a fight, like by crossing rivers or fighting uphill on rough terrain, which will give me a disadvantage. Okay, Gondwana accepted peace with their former enemies. They'll cede Bastar, annul all treaties. So basically, Gondwana lost the war with Deccan, and they gave them the province of Bastar, which is not so good, but it'll increase the revolt risk, as you see here, and there's a very good chance they're not going to be able to keep it because they're not going to be able to have the number of troops to squash all rebels necessarily. And it might go, and if those rebels take it back, it might go under the jurisdiction of Gondwana again. Okay, I'm going to increase the game speed a little bit. And I'm going to try to think of some things to also talk about. Oh, this guy is moving to Konkan. Let's see, 1,000. So I think he's probably going to be stepping here and here. Okay. the enemies looks like they've come to Golconda and they're actually fighting. And they have a massive army. Holy crap. Almost 7,000 men and 2,600 horses. And whereas I don't have very many at all. I just have 3,000 men. So I am getting my ass handed to me. And I'm going to try to pull out of this battle if I can. But at the top left it says it's not possible, nor would it be honorable to retreat so early. So I need to wait a little bit before I can actually retreat from the battle. I'm getting my ass kicked, so I have to get out of this battle really quick. Or if I lose the battle and my morale's all the way low, there's a good chance that my people will still be alive, just, you know, tail between their legs, but they'll be wandering off to another province, possibly my own province, and I can't control them until they actually get there. Basically be retreating from the fight all the way out to where they want to go. So I don't like the way this is going. So my guys, looks like he's retreating to Telangana right here, and I won't be able to stop it or do anything else. I'm right clicking here, and I can't make him not go there. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna take my my guys here, and I'm gonna try to merge them up and make a larger army, because I think I made a mistake when building an army that was building two smaller armies rather than one larger army. And also I'm going to try to recruit some more men. If you see in the top left here where it says manpower of 9,753, this is the number of men in your nation that are capable of joining with your military. This is the pool of men that you have to be able to recruit soldiers like this. So every time I click this, it will reduce that number by 1,000. So even if you have the money to be able to field a large army, you won't necessarily be able to do so because you don't have a large pool of men to be able to draw from. And this is affected by certain factors, the number of countries you own, etc. Because right now you can see my base value is 5,000 something, and my maximum is 11,000. And this slowly builds up over time. So if this number is low and you're trying to wage war, you may not have enough men to be able to wage that war, and you're going to be royally screwed. But I still have those men though, and of course I have the ability to support more troops. Of course, actually this number of troops here is going to put me over that limit, which is going to drastically increase my maintenance costs, but I'll have to deal with that. So to help me better deal with that, I'm going to raise war taxes. This is something that you can do when you're in war, but the thing is, it will increase your war exhaustion every month by the factor that it says. However, this will increase your tax modifier, so it can help you better withstand the effects of war, the cost of maintaining your armies, and basically it's a recommended thing to do unless your economy is really solid and you don't think you need more taxes. You don't think you're going to go bankrupt by waging that war. Just going bankrupt while waging a war is very realistic. It's very possible to happen. This guy's almost in Telangana. And once he's in there, I'm gonna send him out down here. Oh crap, this guy's going to... I hope he's not able to intercept my guys before they get there. On 11th of November and 9th... Okay, good. By the 9th of November, my people will be out of this country and they will be in this country, so they're not going to be able to get the drop on me. So that... Okay, I'm going to move these people here so that they'll meet up and I'll be able to merge them together. See, he's chasing my troops here, and this is a bad thing. Let's see, 7th of December, 27th of November. So I'm still moving more quickly than him. This is why it's a good thing sometimes to have your game speed low, because if it's too fast, the days might pass by, and this guy might get here before I reacted and sent him here quick enough, and so he might be able to attack my guys here before I was able to get here, because I was slow to react and I wasted a number of days trying to move